Hello again, everyone. So I thought today it would be really fun to do an income video. I know there's several videos out there on YouTube already about how people make an income on their homestead, but I thought it'd be fun to share what we do and maybe give you guys a little insight if you're looking to maybe stay home with the kids like I do. Now, my partner, he works and I stay at home with the kids, and I know some families can't afford to do that, and it can be difficult to make ends meet, especially with a partner staying home and not working. So let me tell you guys what I do in addition to his job. Now, first and foremost, my main source of income revolves around blogging. Now, I'm sure there's several other channels out there that have mentioned that, but that is one of my main sources, and I actually get the income through different avenues. I use different writing platforms. I also have, of course, AdSense, Amazon, so I have all of those avenues, but I also have others like affiliate programs that are put into my blogs. They generally make trivial amounts in comparison to the others, such as AdSense, for example. Next, I'm absolutely obsessed with photography. I love photography. It's one of my favorite hobbies, and I have a stock account where I sell photography as well. I've wanted to do local photography for families, but it would just take far too much of my time to do that. So instead, I sell stock photography. I could make more photographing families, but that involves, travel, scheduling. It's just not in the cards right now. There's just far too much going on. So we have blogging and we have photography. Next, I absolutely love clothing resale. I recently got into consigning, and what I do is, at first I was just consigning my kids' clothes, and then I realized that I could consign far more than that. I could even buy and resell. So I started doing that. So I find bulk clothing where people are just trying to get rid of them. They don't really want to have to deal with them, so they just throw them in a trash bag and they're like, bye. So I buy those super cheap, pennies per item, and I turn around and I clean them up. I get them tagged up and I resell in seasonal sales. So that has actually been really fun, and it's something that I can do here at home with the kids. I can be cleaning things up, I can be hanging them, I could be putting them into the database, I can be tagging them and getting them all ready months ahead of time. So that's been a great source of income for me as well. And then in addition to resale, I also like to find things we're not using and sell them on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, sometimes Craigslist. So those are two really handy options if you have a lot of things laying around the house you don't need. Now, to dive even further into it, because I know that saving money isn't necessarily earning money, but if you're saving money, that's more money you have to go towards the things you need. So I'm going to go a little bit further into other things that are frugal. So one of my frugal activities is, if I'm going to buy something, I almost always try to buy it used. If I can buy it used, I do. So a lot of clothing, we get that used. And again, like I said, the consignment that I do, all of the consignment clothing, I can shop those for pretty much new items for my kids. I can buy them whole new outfits for $2 and $3. They may have been worn once. They may still have the tags on them. So that is how I do kids clothing. There's just absolutely no reason for me to walk into a clothing store and pay full price. I mean, I cannot fathom having to buy whole new outfits at retail prices for two kids. It's just insane how much clothing costs, especially when you're buying it new. So I don't do that. They grow way too fast for that, and you would not believe the adorable clothes that you can buy in consignment. So I save hundreds of dollars right there. And in addition, I'm already making hundreds, thousands just consigning myself. So I've already got to be there to drop this stuff off. So why not shop for my kids' clothes for the year while I'm at it? Another thing that I like to do that's very frugal. Now, again, homesteading, gardening, you know, you're going to spend serious money on seeds every year. And many of us love to go overboard on buying seeds. I mean, that's what the winter does to us. We get bored, we're sitting there, it's cold outside, it's raining, there's absolutely no desire to walk outside in that cold, wet, rainy weather. It's depressing. So what do? We buy seeds to pass the time. Can't help it, can we? So many of us wind up with more seeds than we need. We spend too much money on seeds. Me, I don't do that anymore. There is a seed shop that I shop, and I pay about $1 per packet instead of paying, you know, $3-4 a packet at Baker Creek. Now, don't get me wrong, I buy the new things from Baker Creek, absolutely. I always go through and make a small order from them every year, but I actually have a seed shop that I frequent way more, that's cheaper and has even more variety than they do. It's pretty wild. I love the shop, and sometime in the future I may drop the link, but I'm not going to right now because I would like to get up review videos before I do, so that I can show you guys just how great they are. So in the meantime, I'm not going to drop that yet. However, the second thing I do as far as seeds are concerned is I actually do a ton of seed trading. You have no idea how many tomato seeds I have in my collection, pepper seeds. It's pretty wild. I have so much stuff, and my collection, even though some of you might think, you know, 250, 300, 350 different varieties of tomato is actually wild. It pales in comparison to how many tomato varieties are out there. There are over 4,000 varieties of tomatoes, so I haven't even put a dent in an entire I'm not even close to collecting them all, but I will one day. I will one day collect them all. Today's not that day, but I still have many of them. So seed trading is where it's at, because a lot of the seeds that I've traded for, you're not gonna find in a seed shop. These aren't produced commercially. Some of them may have traits that just don't make them desirable for the public, so you just don't see them sold. So seed trading and buying from a very cheap shop, those are ways that I reduce costs in the garden. Another way that I lower the cost of living in our household is I like to shop for certain foods while they're on sale. So certain foods, they hit a low during the year, and I buy them up. If it's got a shelf life of a year or more, you best believe I'm buying a year's supply of it. So I actually used to be an extreme couponer, and when I say extreme couponer, I mean I would spend probably 20 to 30 hours a week shopping. That's right, shopping, putting together scenarios. And so I would usually go out on the weekends, do about 10-hour shift shopping, hitting multiple stores, and I would bring home over $1,000 in product, and I probably made money that day. I was pretty deep into it. Now, this was years ago. It actually became a hobby, and I had friends who were into it, so we were very competitive with it. I probably stopped couponing 4 years ago, and we're still using detergent, air freshener, body wash from couponing all those years ago. That's how much I had. I've actually donated a lot of it, gotten rid of a lot of it. A lot of it has parted ways because I knew it wasn't going to be used within enough time. That was one way I used to save money, but I'm a parent now. There's just no way that I could put that kind of time into it now. So instead of doing that, I just keep up certain habits. Now, like I said, I used to do that, so that's how I know about these things. I pay very close attention to sales and sales cycles. So certain things like gravies, broth, canned vegetables, whole frozen turkeys, hams, all that stuff, like that'll go on sale around Thanksgiving. You can throw whole turkeys in the freezer and freeze them and cook them a different time. If you can get your turkey for 49 cents a pound, why pay $2 a pound for it the rest of the year? Just buy 3 or 4 turkeys, buy a whole new deep freezer and learn to put away seasonal items and rotate them throughout the year. So I did mention turkeys, and I did mention flour your spices and everything during Thanksgiving. Now those broth, cream of chicken, cream of celery, cream of mushroom soups, all of those, you're gonna get the name brand, the cheapest around Thanksgiving. Always pay attention to what holiday an ingredient is used the most in. If an ingredient is used the most at Thanksgiving, you're gonna wanna look at sales from 4 weeks before Thanksgiving to right up against Thanksgiving. Those weeks are gonna be whenever you get the best price. Grilling season, Memorial Day, Valentine's Day even. Valentine's Day especially is good for steaks, but grilling season, grilling holidays, 4th of July, they're all the best ones to buy hot dogs, ribs, steaks. If you want a Boston butt, ketchup, mustard, mayo, pickles, relish, any of that stuff, grilling season. And then if you wanted to talk about ham, that would be around Christmas time, Easter time. Those 2 times of the year is going to be whenever you're going to get the best deal on ham. Other items, you're going to want to keep an eye out for seasonal items. Squash, middle of summer. If you want berries, especially strawberries, you're going to want those somewhere between January and April, depending on when they start going on sale in your area, because a lot of our fruit is brought up from the south. Once the fruit begins fruiting, say in Mexico, that's going to be whenever it all gets shipped in. Whenever that fruit is ripening, whenever it's going to be processed, they're going to freeze it, can it, sell it fresh. It's generally the cheapest at that point in time because they're trying to get rid of it, they're trying to push it. So blueberries, you know, your main season is going to be in June, July, May. It's going to be around that time that your blueberries are ripening, so it's going to be when they're cheapest. They're going to be at their absolute cheapest whenever it comes to fresh. Everything's going to get frozen, put away. So if you're looking for blueberries in November, you're going to pay a premium because they're having to be imported from further away where it's warmer. Now, if you guys want me to dive more into the sales cycles and everything, I can do that, but I'm probably going to stop right here. I'm absolutely full of this information, so if it's actually useful to anybody, just let me know and I will give more pointers on saving money on food. Like I said, I could drag this out forever. I really could. So just ask if you want that video. I can actually add a few more things to the list of income. Now, whenever I was mentioning income before, I wasn't directly mentioning anything that I gather off the homestead, which is kind of funny that I wouldn't mention any of those, but it's because it's trivial amounts. It really is. So I might sell chicks here and there. I may sell ducklings here and there. I've sold laying hens several times. I think my last big sale was, I think I sold 2 laying hens for $30. I sold some drakes and roosters. I sold them for 10 a piece. So it's just kind of here and there. I sell plants in the springtime, not too many of them. I'm hoping to do more seedling sales in the spring. And I'm planning to start up a seed shop of my own at some point because of my extensive collection of tomatoes. You probably saw that one coming. I actually have a lot of crafts that I love to do and a lot of hobbies that I've taken up and can't dedicate a lot of time to. So I'm always working on projects, and eventually I would like to turn those into an income. So essentially they're just something that I enjoy doing. But my projects, I'm taking them and I'm storing them away. And then one day, whenever I find the time to do say flea markets, farmers markets, set up an Etsy shop, I can list them all. So I'm just having fun with it. I'm enjoying them. So, I mean, they may not be making me anything now, but they may in the future. To accompany the blogging. One other source of income that I have that I don't really utilize right now, I don't have the time for it. It's the middle of summer. I've got a baby, so I haven't done it in quite some time. I've just been too busy to keep up with that particular source of income. But I enjoy writing content for people. So I'll get paid to write content for other websites. And that can be fun. It can be interesting, to say the least, with some of the keywords that I've been given to write about. But there definitely is no lack of work there if you know how to get into it. If you don't have your foot in the door, it could be a little difficult. You just have to be able to find some clients. Once you get clients, there really is no shortage of work. There's always somebody needing something written somewhere to promote some company or some product or some informational website that needs more content that the owner of the website knows nothing about. And I say this as a blogger. I mean, I've written for so many websites, it's not even funny. And I actually have a lot of content that was ghostwriting too. So if you don't know what ghostwriting is, it just means your name's not attached to the work. You get paid out for your rights to the work. So that's all that means. When I say I do blogging, I have several websites. I don't have just one blog. I have many blogs. The most active ones there are about 4 or 5 of them that are the most active ones that really, you know, bring home my bacon. Not a lot of bacon, but it's not shabby. It's not a waste of time, to say the least. So, but some of these websites have been running, I think my oldest ones I set up in 2013 or 2014. I've been at this for some time now. I've been a content writer since, I'm gonna have to say 2009, maybe 2008. It was quite some time ago that I got into content writing. I really don't remember when. This video is probably incredibly long. I recorded so much for it today. My battery even died, so I had to start up again. I'm sure nobody will ever make it this far into the video. If you do, shout out in the comments, please. I mean, that'd be cool to know somebody actually made it this far, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm speaking to absolutely no one at this point. But some of the things that I plan to do in the near future, again, 2 kids, so a lot of things are on hold right now, but some things I want to do in the near future are open up my own seed shop where I'm saving my own hand-pollinated seed. I want to be able to do some of my crafts and some of those things that I enjoy and turn around and make them profitable. I would like to sell produce in the future. I would like to sell it super locally. I would rather set up shop in a nearby town, on my own, or here out in the country, a roadside stand. Next year I actually plan to put one of those plans into motion, and that is selling far more seedlings to the public, especially of my rare tomato seed collection. That'll be a lot of fun, getting some of those out into the public. But I am actually building a greenhouse this fall with the proceeds from a different project that I'm working on. So I'm going to hopefully get my greenhouse built this fall and be able to really make a little bit of money off my seedlings. And I would like to turn around and reinvest that into the next venture. So far we have selling the seeds, setting up at stands, market produce, selling seedlings. And then another one is selling more of the livestock. We do have goats, we have chickens, we have ducks, but we have a lot of chickens. But right now the goats are just pets. We're not breeding them, raising them. That's a lot of work in itself. Goats require a lot of care. But next year in particular, I would like to start raising some of our Muscovies. I feel like the Muscovies would be an excellent opportunity. But I should probably go ahead and cut this video short. So if you guys have any questions, just ask below.